going to try and in one day get a whole rolling chassis hand built for my Pope twin cylinder, 1912. And in order to build the chassis, I got to build the wheels first. Building these clincher rims, 23 inches. I have one here mounted with a tire. So I'm going to lace the wheel up, then lace the spokes to the hub, lace that all up to the rim, true it, get the tires on it, and then start building the frame. So the first step is to get the spokes in, and I have to get all 40 spokes in first. Lace them 10 at a time. You just lay the rim over it. All the holes in the rim are laid in at different angles. So you got to locate which spokes go into which holes. I had these rims powder coated, and the powder coating's got such a thickness to it that the spokes won't go through the holes in the rim. So I'm just going to take a drill and ream the holes out real quick. So there you go, got my wheel laced up. Now I'm just going to throw it on the truing stand. Okay, this is my wheel truing stand, and what I do is I place the wheel in it, and allows me to spin the wheel. And you want to do two things. You want to take the side-to-side wobble out of it, and you want to take the up-and-down wobble out of it. To do this, if you want to try and do this yourself, I mean, you can go buy a truing stand, but you don't have to have a truing stand to do it. You can do it in a vise. You know, you can put an axle through the wheel and do it in a vise. You can do it in the motorcycle. You can take the tire off of it right in the front forks or in the back of the frame. I mean, there's a lot of ways to do it if you don't have the equipment. If you true a wheel right, it should stay that way forever. But you know, if you hit a huge bump or something like that, you may sometimes have to go back and re-true. What you do is you take the wheel. There's 40 spokes, so you separate the wheel. You segment it into 10 sets of 4 spokes. So I start right here at the valve stem, and I'm take these 4 and then make that group 1, group 2, and so on. And you always work with these 10 sets of 4 spokes. And that's how you'll know where you are. A lot of people don't do it this way, and that's why they screw up. When they try and do it, they get frustrated because you lose track. And as I spin the rim around, you can watch the dial gauge go from 0 to 40 thousandths. That's my run out right now. And so I'll just stop it, you know, where it's around 40 thousandths, and I'll pull up and see, okay, that's my number 6 set of spokes. So I need to pull them off to the left. So I just tighten on the left side. What I need to do is you loosen the spokes on one side, tighten them on the other side. As I'm doing this, I'm watching the side-to-side wobble and the up-and-down wobble. They call it run out, but you know, I'm watching it go side to side. See, it's pulled out again now because I don't have all the spokes tight, but you know, it'll come back around pretty quick. These are like the original dubs. And again, I got to tighten this spoke on this side to pull it over to my right, but then I got to go across the rim and see what happens, because if I don't, I might be pulling it to the side, but I'm also pulling it up, and then the wheel will get like an egg shape. So I got to go across the rim right here and see where it is. And it still needs to come over some too. That's the trick. Before you really start getting all the spokes tight, you gotta get it, generally speaking, and true. You ever see I got a lot of the wobble out of it already? It's a lot less than it had, just from a couple screws. Some people start tightening, they don't go across the rim, and then they make it worse instead of better. Here's 4. Tighten these up, it should really pull it into shape. 23-inch wheels, the larger diameter goes over a bump better. You know, it actually makes the bike ride smoother. And they use them for board track racing and like Bonneville racing, because the larger diameter gives them a higher speed and a lower bearing speed. So it's that's why they used them. So actually, I guess 100 years later, everybody's getting their senses back, you know, using the big wheels. Yeah, I just use electrical tape to go around. A lot of times when you put the tire on or the tube in, when the tube inflates, it'll push the rim strip to the side, and then you get stuck later on. I always try and eliminate the problems in the shop. It winds up with a less on the side of the road. You know, I start out with an old wheel like this. You can see I cut the center out of this wheel, and what I did was the hub that was in it is actually one of the hubs that's in the Henderson, and it was as gnarly as this rim is. You know, this is probably a 90-year-old lead-based paint on it, and cut the center out, sandblast it, either paint it or powder coat it or nickel plate it, rebuild it, put new bearings and grease in it, and set it up and take old junk and turn it into new treasure.